realized how important the message was. I've known how important the message is for a long time. And that's the truth. I've known for a long time. I just haven't talked about it. Haven't talked about it because, things don't sound the same in your head as they do out loud. They don't sound the same. And when I talked to your son last night, it made me realize that this generation, and maybe this is what this is all for. It's an understanding of the Bible that they need to revisit it, and because all they know is the stories of it. And nobody's ever told them the why of those stories and made them understand that it's something they should look into, and that understand that the Bible is a guidebook. And it's hard for people to see that. I mean, if they really, truly see it, I guess they do. I don't really know what you see. That's funny. It's hubris to even think that I would. But I do know this message, and the deal is it all started in the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve. I call it the Adam and Eve Debacle. That's funny. That's what I call it. Because God sits there and he creates a creature of purpose. For what purpose? I don't know. I can guess though. I see God sitting there creating the universe. And I see him looking up. I see us looking up and thinking, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of things to do, isn't it? So I might want a creature that I could create that maybe could help me with all that. Somebody could be, so he created Adam, and then he created Eve. And then Adam and Eve, they have one rule in this Garden of Eden, okay? One rule. Don't eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That's it. That's the only rule. See, but I don't think it's really a fruit. I think it's more about sight, you see. What you can see. I'm blind, but now I see. That kind of thing. You look up and you can't see something, and then all of a sudden one piece of information will come in, you'll see what you couldn't see. That kind of thing. That's sight. That's what I call learned sight. And when you got that sight, with Adam and Eve, all of a sudden, they took a glimpse. And when you see something, you can't unsee what you saw. See, that's the problem. And God's sitting there going, he's got two choices. Got Adam and Eve down there, told them not to do this. They did it anyway. Now they glimpsed into the future, and they've seen the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of it. They've seen all the knowledge of good and evil. They've seen this stuff. They just seen it. They haven't learned it. They've seen it and know that it's there. And human nature dictates that we're not. This is our human nature. We're curious. Do you think there's anything God could have done that could have stopped us at that point? Anything? They could have rolled back and they could have unseen what they saw. At any point, no, of course not. So therefore God says, well, I only got one choice in. I've got to, from this point forward, make them learn the knowledge. Now, you wanted it. He was going to give it to you. But no. We had to do the Adam and Eve debacle. We had to glimpse at it. And now that we saw it, we can't unsee what we saw, so now we own it. Right? And now we have to go through life learning the knowledge of good and evil that God had planned to give us anyway. Now, why would he give us the knowledge of good and evil? Why would he give us all this stuff? Okay, he give you the stuff because he planned to give it to you in the first place, the knowledge of good and evil. Because when you're running the universe, you kind of sort of need to have some good knowledge. But how can you give that knowledge to somebody who can't even follow one rule? You can't. Because we didn't respect the knowledge, we didn't respect and understand it. We have to learn through it now. We have to learn our sight. You have to look up and see things. And the parables in the Bibles, that's what they do. It amazes me when I started reading the Gospel of Luke, and I looked in and I listened to Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, and I was so amazed. I was like, oh my God. Jesus is showing me his perception through his eyes. How extraordinary is that? That you can actually see what Jesus saw. He told you. He shared it with you. Do you think he would give you something like that and say, this is what he showed you because this is what we're supposed to become? He gave you something to work for, carrot. Got a little problem with that. You can't simply fake it till you make it with this kind of stuff. You have to actually earn it. Once again, Adam and Eve debacle. We have to earn our stuff. That's the way it works. We have to earn it. We have to earn it through sight. And through living our lives, and through our lives, we continuously live these same lives. And the deal is people live the same day every day, never really truly learn in anything because they don't ask questions, because questions are the answer. See, when you ask questions to God, let me first tell you, if you get an answer that's complicated, it's not from God. That's first thing. Second of all, simple, it's God's, and he brought it to you. He answered your question, and you might not like the answer. Maybe you do, but the deal is you still saw something you couldn't see, and you've walked through it, and you've grown because of it. It's all about growth. God put us here. This is basically a training route for growth, for you to learn how to make good choices and good decisions. This is not hard stuff. How do we do that? Don't hurt people. I know that sounds simple. That's your 10 commandments wrapped up in one little simple sentence. Don't hurt nobody. If you hurt somebody, you take them off their path to God. They're here to learn, to evolve. Why? Because at the end of this thing, what do you think God's going to do? Retire you? Why would you create a creature of purpose, make him more educated, more knowledgeable than you could ever, and you have the best that you could ever be in his life, and then all of a sudden you retire his ass? No, you put him to work. We're creatures of purpose. We are built for purpose, and that's the deal. And anything you do that obstructs somebody's learning, involved evolution through life, you are sinning. That is a sin. Hurt somebody, and it's sin. And if you don't think, and this is what's so funny, I tell people all the time, people have a right to their feelings. If you hurt someone, guess what? Apologize, for God's sakes. If you say, well, I didn't do anything to do that. That's crazy. They're just me. It doesn't matter what you think. You hurt them and you've taken them off their path to God. You better fix it. And it takes a simple apology. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. My intent was not bad, because assumptions are bad shit, and they're going to assume whatever you did was intentionally wrong or bad, and you need to fix it. That's what we do. We grow, and that's growth, you know. That's growth. That's why we're here, to grow. That is your purpose for being here, is to grow. And if that's so, what would the devil's purpose for you do? It would be for you not to grow, wouldn't it? For you to stay the same exactly as you are, never grow, live the same day every day. Can you not see that's what you're doing now? You can't even remember sometime, you go to work and you can't even remember getting there. How did I get here? My Lord, people. You need to open your eyes and open your perception to understand that we don't have all the information. I don't have your answers, I'm sorry. I probably don't. My questions may not be yours. My answers may not be yours. Because God has got you on this path, and whatever you believe that you need to do to get to God is what you need to do, because God's been talking to your whole life. It's all about you, and you need to stop listening to everything else around you that's distracting you. That's the answer.